How is it going, fellow Titans? Welcome back to a brand new update video, and today it is indeed for Titan Season 4, because we just got the casting for the Church of Blood main characters, and an extra character technically, and one of them has made me very, very happy. And I don't expect this video to be a massively long video. It's just been a while since we've done a Titans update video, since we're in that in-between period of when Season 3 ended, Scarecrow was put away literally in an Arkham cell and driven insane by Raven and Dick Grayson. I mean, I have to admit, is that very heroic? I don't know. But anyway, no, really, we haven't had a whole bunch of stuff going in Season 4, other than what we've spoken about before with regards to who will the villains be, and I made a video on that. I'm probably showing on screen somewhere right now, and we talked about the rumored Church of Blood, and that's when I linked them back to the Easter egg all the way back into episode 1 of Season 3, and that was a little billboard in Gotham of the Church of Blood literally advertising. They're like, hey, yo, what's up? Join the Church of Blood. You know, we're where it's at, and today we have got the castings, and as I said, this has made me incredibly happy. I can't wait to see your responses down in the comments below, because, again, one thing, whatever you will say about Titans, is that I adore the casting for this show, and yes, that includes Ian Glenn's Bruce Wayne. Okay, but anyway, the DC Titans on Max, basically their Twitter page, tweeted out as follows: "All rise for the Church of Blood, introducing Joseph Morgan as Sebastian Blood, Franca Portent, did I butcher that name? That is how it's spelled, right? Franca Potente, and Lisa Ambalavenar as Jinx." Now, first and foremost, let's read out the Hollywood Reporter article, because that's what Joseph Morgan tweeted out on his own page. And if you couldn't tell already, I'm quite a fan of Joseph Morgan. I've seen him in many things, kind of growing up throughout my teenage years. And yes, that means the originals and the Vampire Diaries. And what? Yes, I did watch those when I was like 15 or 14 or 13. And that was a long time ago, because I'm 27 now. So you could say that he's kind of typecast now, because he is always somewhat playing that character, the villainous type character. But he is, so good at it. And by the way, I don't know if any of you checked out what he did after that, A Brave New World with Alden Ehrenreich and Joseph Morgan. It's a shame that that didn't work out, because I was really excited for his scenes in that as well. And I watched the whole first season, but unfortunately that didn't continue on. Just thought I'd chuck it out there that he was in A Brave New World as well. It had a really cool concept, but it basically flopped at the end of the day. But Joseph Morgan said on his Twitter, "Titans, I'm honored to be stepping into the DC universe and playing such a layered, complex, ruthless, and vulnerable role. This is going to be exhilarating. Hashtag Brother Blood, hashtag Titans." And that's when he links this Hollywood Reporter article. Hollywood Reporter article. This is what happens when you have too much caffeine in a short amount of time, ladies and gentlemen. Titans enlists Joseph Morgan for Season 4. Titans is bulking up its cast for Season 4. And it's really weird being in this position, by the way, because I remember making these update videos as Vincent Kartheiser joined Season 3 for Scarecrow. And here we are, boom, fast travel video game style mode, and here I am. Like, the time just disappears in front of you. It really does. The Vampire Diaries and the originals alum Joseph Morgan has joined the cast of HBO Max DC Comics drama. If we skim along a little bit, it says both will be series regulars in the former DC Universe series, which has also enlisted Lisa Ambalavenar for a recurring role. We'll talk about my theories surrounding her in a second. So Morgan will play Sebastian Blood, aka Brother Blood, who is described as introverted and intelligent with a hidden, darker nature. Potente takes on the part of May Bennett, aka Mother Mayhem, who is a predator in human form with an unfettered belief in her mission in the world. Ambalavenar takes on the role of Jinx, a quick-witted, criminal loner and a master of dark magic with a joy for manipulating others and creating chaos while doing it. The trio join a cast that also include Brenton Thwaites and all the others that we know and love, and that's basically all we have for now. However, this is the BobaTalks channel, so we're going to talk about it. So essentially here, my biggest takeaway here is Joseph Morgan. The fact that he's got the role of Brother Blood is quintessential casting for me. It really is. I know some people may judge or be like, oh, but the CW's Vampire Diaries or the originals. Say what you will, but like there is no taking away from the performance he gave to those roles as Klaus Michelson. Like, I'm just going to say it. He is a fantastic actor, and whether he is typecast in more villainous roles or not, I don't care. I'm so glad that he's in this role because, oh man, say what you will about Titans in general, but one thing, as I mentioned earlier, I will always fall in love with this show over again and again and again, season and season, and say what you will about Scarecrow, but I personally loved their take on him in season 3. As for story, it dipped here and there, but as far as Scarecrow, the portrayal and performance was mwah. So the portrayal and performance I already know from Joseph Morgan will be a very, very strong one. He really digs his claws deep into his roles, and I know he's going to give a very engrossing performance whenever he is on screen. I don't want to overhype him, but I trust those who already know a bit about his work in the past on the shows know how really in character he can get, and just what that will mean for when he's in character, giving that performance as this character in particular just basically really suits his demeanor of previous roles that he's done before. And by the way, I'm not worried about him. Do you think he's going to retread Klaus Michelson or this, that, and the other? No, honestly not. Like, the good thing about Joseph Morgan, despite, and I think it's a shame, not having like a wide variety of different types of characters, because his acting range is really good. I do not expect a retreading of Klaus or Niklaus from the originals. I have the utmost faith that he's going to bring something brand new to this, all while being very diabolical at the same time. But what also intrigues me as well, as I said, he really has a good vulnerable side to his acting. This is one of my favorite things about Joseph Morgan, with even the bad type characters like Klaus Michelson he's played before, is they are kind of multifaceted in the sense that he's not just evil for evil's sake. He always has had this ability to translate onto screen the different layers that there are that makes up a person, and you can even begin to empathize with said villain in those moments. And I'm not saying we're going to mega empathize or sympathize with Brother Blood, but when we have Joseph Morgan here saying, I'm honored to be stepping into the DC universe and playing such a layered, complex, ruthless, and vulnerable role, well, that is really, as I said, quintessential for Joseph Morgan. He won't just be delivering his really presence-filled villainous chops here. He will be delivering on all of these different areas, he said. Not only ruthless, but complex. He will be vulnerable at the same time. Honestly, I would keep going, but I will basically just be fanboying at that point. So just know that I am absolutely over the moon about this casting for Sebastian Blood, aka Brother Blood. But also, another kind of blast from the past for me is Franca Potente. And I know her mostly from the Bourne movies, or the first Bourne film, I believe. But I do, just kind of checking up on her again before this video, feel like she will be, I mean, at least at the very foundation, looks to be a perfect fit for Mother Mayhem. And just hearing the casting description here as a predator in human form with an unfettered belief in her mission in the world. Now, again, we don't quite know the full context as to the Church of Blood's, should I say, quest in this iteration. I mean, yes, I know usually it does pertain to Trigon, but we have already somewhat dealt with Trigon. I don't know if that innately means that Trigon is going to be brought back into Titans on HBO Max again this season. It might be one of those things that I'm sure will be littered throughout in commentary between characters, few and far between this season, but I don't know if they are going to go back to the basics of, let's bring about Trigon because his daughter trapped him in his own dimension again. Let's bring him back. I think there will be more about spreading their own message and teachings from what the Church of Blood has already somewhat set up in this world in live action, since we already know it's out there. As I said in Season 3, Episode 1, the Church of Blood was advertising on that billboard, and you can even maybe theorize that Raven's mother was technically a part of that church already. So, like, the foundations are somewhat scattered out there. It's just now we're really getting into the meat and substance of what that will be. Plus, as I always say, these are adaptations, not copy and paste. So Mother Mayhem and this vulnerable yet ruthless Brother Blood, you know, and how he's probably being really commanded by Mother Mayhem, might be treading some new innovative ground as to what the Church of Blood could be dealing with or trying to assert in their own mission that the Titans is going to have to notice and obviously tackle this season. And obviously with Magic coming into it, it adds a whole new layer of excitement and challenges for our Titans, because Magic, obviously Superboy, will be a bit weak to that. It will also capitalize upon Raven's skills, as she is literal magic, and I do think that Jinx, as we have here, since she's been cast, and I do not know of this actress's, Lisa Amberlavin, I hope I pronounced her name correctly, from the A-list. I haven't seen her personally, but I'm sure she would be a nice addition to the role. I've got a feeling she could be somewhat like a Rose Wilson-esque type of appearance on the show. She is also a recurring role. She's not a series regular like the other two, Mother Mayhem and Brother Blood. Series regular meaning they're in practically most, if not all, episodes, whereas recurring, she's going to be more of a Rosie kind of Wilson type appearance in season 4. And I do think that she will be somewhat like that character as well. And what do I mean by that? I only mean on the very basic premise. I've just got a vibe that, yes, it does say here, as described by the Hollywood Reporter, that she takes on the role of Jinx, a quick-witted criminal loner and a master of dark magic. Well, dark magic is going to come in handy with the Church of Blood, with a joy for manipulating others and creating chaos while doing it. So she's going to be, I think, even more problematic than Rose was, because Rose was kind of like, you know, very lashy outy in a bit and took a while to come into the fold of the Titans Tower. But I do expect a similar thing. You know what the Titans are like, Dick Grayson is like. I think they're going to want to take her in. I do think it will not be as basic as that, by the way. Do not take my word for this. I've just got a feeling that the overall consensus will have her character eventually coming into the fold, or if not, at the very least, they will work with her because she'll be very handy with her magic to somehow, some way, somewhere help take down the Church of Blood, or at least thwart Mother Mayhem and Sebastian Blood's plans. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to waste any more time in this video because there really isn't that much more substance out there for Titan Season 4. It's just really big news for me personally. Like, not only am I really a big fan of this show, despite the issues it has, I'm still a really big fan of it. I am so happy that an actor I really like, I will always be so happy to see Joseph Morgan in something, I think practically for the rest of my life, and I only want to see him do well. So for someone I really like already to be cast in a show, one of my favorite shows, in a role that is perfect for him, I know that despite all the things that Season 4 really needs to address from typical fan constructive criticisms, and I think everyone knows what I'm on about there, at least I know, again, that the on-screen portrayal and performance of said characters should, especially with Joseph Morgan, be a goddamn good one. And usually it is. Even Titan Season 2. Say what you will about it. But S.I. Morales was quintessential Deathstroke casting. This show never fails to hit the mark on casting, so take my enthusiasm there if you do not or are not quite familiar with Joseph Morgan. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts on not only Joseph Morgan, but the other two actors cast for their respective roles, Mother Mayhem and Jinx. Leave a like on this video, and do consider subscribing to stay up to date with all kinds of Titan Season 4 updates, as we're entering that period very slowly right now, and where we're going to be getting more and more information. This is the channel to be subscribed to that. I always cover anything worth knowing about when it comes to Titans. So, yep, I do recommend subscribing. And as always, as I said earlier, a like is always very much so appreciated. But check out my links in the top pinned comment or in the description. And other than that, guys, I just can't wait to read your comments on all of this news. Let's get some low-key hype for Season 4 of Titans. And just thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. I'll see you fellow Titans in the next video. Goodbye.